What is up, everybody? Welcome back to a special edition. We have the Open Championship, the British Open, as some of us Americans would like to say, at Royal St. George's this week. We're going to talk everything DraftKings golf. We're going to talk some bets. We got some early bets. It's Monday. The odds board keeps coming off the books with some COVID withdrawals. We'll talk about Lucas Glover's win last week. That was interesting at the good John Deere Classic there. A little bit of everything, Sam. We are moving into the NFL season shortly. Everything at betkarma.com. And my God, the amazing things that keep happening at betkarma.com. Check it out, everybody, especially as football season is near us with all of our live odds, our prop predictors, all kinds of tools, literally updating there, honestly, by the week. But Sam, we haven't had a pod in like 3 or 4 weeks. It's been weird. I never thought I'd miss your face, but I miss you.
Thanks, man. I didn't miss you at all. But I will say that we haven't had a pod in a little while. I do want to shout out to myself that I broke my year-long betting slump, like my worst betting year ever, by making it all back with Cam Davis, who I felt like I deserved that one because I had bet him so many times. If I had not betted him, I would have been so upset, so upset.
That was a big win. To your point, I just want to say, for those that like to dabble in the betting markets, I mean, these wins come at times, right? We started off this year, just like last year, mega hot. You and I both, 4 to 5 to 6 wins between us in the first 8 weeks. It can't keep happening. And then we go through a cold spell. But when you get a big win like that, it makes up for the last 2 months and then some. So yeah, big win by you, no doubt.
Yeah, dude. I mean, just for transparency, but it makes sense. I was down probably a total of 60 units, call it, this year. And now I'm up 80. It's that's just how it works. It's you have to hit that one guy. So last week kind of got smoked because I don't know why. This has been the last 3 weeks where all my safe guys miss the cut, and then all my flyers make the cut and finish top 10. So that was kind of annoying, but it is what it is. This is my favorite tournament of the year to watch. This should be a really good one. Yeah, I'm not sure if you remember. The last time I was played here was when Darren Clark at age 42 won at -5, I think it was. And he kind of showed a little bit of going to kind of what it takes on this course. I mean, it's par 70. These bunkers are so hard to get out of. They are as penalizing as some of the thick rough of the US Open. You have to know how to scramble. You have to know how to take your medicine, which I think a lot of US guys could struggle with. And it sounds easy, but you just have to be hitting the greens. I think Justin Ray tweeted out that I think the two lowest green regulation percentages over the last 20 years or something have come at, or the last 20 British Opens have both come at this course, 54%. So you're going to miss the greens. You have to know how to play link style. And, you have to be ready. The fact that this course is there's not an even lie on the entire thing. So you're gonna have a lot of uneven lies. And I don't know if the wind is down, maybe these guys can tear it up, but I see a score in the single digits, especially if the wind, which we know can go berserk back and forth in Europe. So it should be an awesome one to watch.
I am so pumped just for the fact that you get the, almost the Sunday scaries going to bed, Thursday or Wednesday night, knowing that you're probably not going to sleep well because you're going to keep getting up and checking your app depending on what time zone you live in. And it really is. I think it's honestly one of my favorite tournaments of obviously of all golf, but really of anything out there. So I'm freaking pumped. By the way, I get yelled at behind the scenes for not saying this enough, but shout out to all my YouTube family out there. Give us a thumbs up. We totally appreciate the support. We've done these pods for a number of years for those that have been listening and watching. And of course, we roll these out into different sports. So if you can, my thoughts are comment in the comment section of who you got winning this week. I, myself, and Anthony Carson, will hop in there and comment back. on who you guys pick. So just trying to get some activity up there. We appreciate that. So with that being said, Sam, there is a lot to digest. We will not talk about every golfer like some of these pods out there. We like to keep our podcast like neat, concise, and really under that like 30-minute time mark the best we can. We always like to start off with some game theory, right? This is a DraftKings pod. We will sprinkle in the betting and stuff like that. But to your point, it's kind of wide open. This is one of the few weeks where I think you do take stats out of the equation a lot more, probably. I mean, maybe that's a bad take. I mean, yes, we're all looking at stats, and there's definitely stuff to really evaluate. But I don't know, man. I feel like every time we didn't have the British Open, or excuse me, the Open last year because of COVID, I generally feel like in the years past in DraftKings and FanDuel, I kind of am building this team, my main lineup, more of just really feel and a little bit of game theory. Like, I am not going to make a complete chalk lineup, as I say quite often. And I don't know, I'm going to look for an edge. There's definitely some guys I like that probably will be highly owned. So let's get into it. Why don't we just freaking start? Normally we start with 10K and above. Let's start with Spieth and above. Jordan Spieth is going to be, it's Monday. Our projections portal, what Sam does, probably will come out by the end of today. Jordan Spieth is going to be the highest owned golfer, I would assume, of this entire field, rightfully so. We can talk about all the reasons why, but he's just sets up very well here. And frankly, he's playing unbelievable this year. So he's going to be highly owned. I mean, I probably, as of now on Monday, I'm still going to build around a Jordan Spieth lineup, and I'll look to get different elsewhere. What do you say, Dan?
I mean, yeah, I can't disagree. I mean, he's played in 7 British Opens and never missed a cut. So that's the first thing. His last 3 is a win, a 9th, and the 20th. I mean, yeah, it's funny that people are over Spieth, and then like he had like one mediocre tournament, and then people were like, "Oh, okay, yeah, no, he's not back yet." And then he finished like 30th at PGA, and then rattled off like 2 top 20s and a T2. So yeah, the game, it does set up for him. Well, I mean, the only problem is we know with the Spieth we've seen over the last year or so, I mean, he can be incredible, but he also can get on these streaks where he just runs really bad and just has a tough time. So the one thing I'll say is what I've not followed the last like 3 weeks is that at that kind of ownership, especially in a tournament like this, always warrants, if you want to fade some or be underweight in tournaments, I get it. I will almost certainly play him in cash. But yeah, I don't know. It's not even because I'm a Xander hater. I don't know why Spieth is less than Xander, but that's a little ridiculous to me. But either way, yeah, I like Spieth a lot. I think his betting number's just been hammered down. So I don't know if it's worth a bet anymore. I mean, I think DK has him at like 14-1. That's like way too
14.
Low. Yeah. 18 maybe. Yeah. I mean, okay. I have like my thoughts. Ours are normally different at the top. What are your, of those 5 10K guys, like what are your 1, 2 of those 10K guys? Rom.
It's got to be Rom. I mean, yes, it's the lane.
He should be everyone's.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is with this week, we'll get into it. There's a couple characters in specific one in the low 6K range. You can easily build, honestly, probably a Rom Spieth lineup this week and be quite okay. Like, that's the natural build this week. That's going to be the popular build, the chalk build, whatever you want to call it. Again, yes, in cash games, you should probably go Rom Spieth and take the gentleman we'll talk about later, Mr. Samuel Burns at 6,300, and you could still have an unbelievable lineup. Brooks is obviously right there. You can't fade Brooks at this point in any major. But like we were talking pre-pod, I really like Rory. I kind of liked Rory weeks ago. I was kind of coaching myself up mentally, knowing that the Open was coming without pricing coming out. And man, he is at a very weird pricing point of 10,900 just because he's in the middle of Rombo and Koepka. I mean, we're looking at potentially single-digit ownerships, and I really like Rory this week. Like I liked him coming in. If you actually look at his stats, the last 4 to 5 tournaments, I know, he just you mentioned Sam right before the podcast started. He missed the Scottish Open cut. I didn't see that. I don't really care. I'm not going to bake that in too much, but you want to win a tournament this week. I mean, my God, starting with Spieth plus Rory.
I should have said this at the top, by the way. I mean, it all depends again on the weather, but like that course is so different than this one. I mean, what was the winning score, like -18? It's been like -20 before. I mean, that's a completely different course. Those guys shred that one. I mean, this one has 2 par 5s. One of the par 5s plays over par. It did in 2011 because it's really hard. So yeah, I agree with you. I don't mind Rory. The guy I totally am playing Dustin Johnson. No one's gonna play him.
Oh, that's interesting. He's going to be lower owned as well.
I get his form is quote unquote bad. He's finished top 25 his last 3 starts still, and he's not been playing well. And in the Open Championship, I mean, he's played it the last 10 times, missed the cut once with 3 top 10s and a T12. I mean, again, it's DJ. You never really know what you're gonna get if he gives a shit at all. But if he's gonna be the lowest owned, like I will play DJ at sub 10% over Chalk Xander like every time.
So I really like the setup of the guys up top, and you have to focus on it because normally we like to say all these guys are going to be 20% owned. I mean, this is a different tournament. It is fascinating. It's Monday, and we're kind of taking a look at – we didn't even talk about Bryson. I mean, Bryson, DJ, and Rory right now all potentially could be single-digit owned. If you think about that, that's absolutely incredible for these type of names with this type of win equity up top. I have a very busy week, but I probably am going to use our optimizer that's on the website, like in a $5 whatever, max out the $5. I mean, this is the type of game theory that if you're using the optimizer, to me, it's a no-brainer. You X out a Koepka in your player pool. You X out a Xander. Frankly, I don't even want anything to do with Bryson this week, to shoot straight with you. And, I would almost lock in Rory and DJ, or at least go 3 times, 4 or 5 times the field, and then, use the optimizer and let the simulation spit things out from there, because I love the leverage to your point, I was debating DJ before the pod. It's I got to make a stand with somebody. And to me, it's Rory. You're going DJ. I mean, I love the leverage. You got to have leverage. But, again, before we move on, the smart plays for you cash game grinders, John Rahm and Jordan Spieth. I mean, you can go Xander too. There's nothing wrong with that. He's always going to be owned. So.
I mean, if you're going to drop down now, I think it's also just easy, which I think will be even more popular. I agree that'll be popular, but going Spieth like Louis, I assume will be everyone's start.
I know. Tell me why. Can you coach me out of Louis? I feel like I absolutely have to play him, but at the same time, dude, if he is
it's
highly owned, talk me out of him. Just tell me why.
No, it's one of those things. I agree. It's one of those things where Louis for the longest time, I feel until literally a month ago, it's he's mid 7s or mid 8s. Yeah. People think he's going to withdraw, so then he's 6% owned. But if he's going to be 15, 20% owned, that makes him way less appealing. I get it, and I know he's a bad player. He's playing great, even though he doesn't win. But I don't know. I would much rather, as you talk also about, I think people are going to not play Justin Thomas because it's not a birdie fest. I think that's such a mistake.
Yeah, he's got a great price. I do like JT. I really do. I do think he's gonna be unknown. His biggest issue has been is off the tee.
He led off the tee at the Scottish Open.
Did he really?
Mm-hmm.
So
no, again, I get he's a bad putter, but again, I can't. I don't know. I'm saying if I was gonna play tournament wise, I would like JT over Louis, but I don't know. Morikawa, it's hard to ever fade him. He's just so good, but I don't know if he has a short game. Hovland, I think a lot of people will. Hatton, form is weird, but it's one of those things we all talk about with majors. None of these guys are quote unquote a bad play, but right. It's easy to X. For instance, if Bryson is going to end up for some reason being chalked, then I'll absolutely fade him. But if he's going to be 7% owned, then I definitely will play Bryson.
I just want to say again, I do think Louis is an unbelievable Louis the play. We know this. Sam, you and I, we are so in the trenches with golf, but a lot of people listening to us might not pick up on why. And the reasons are Louis is a really good putter. Louis got a great short game. Louis, when you're talking about a winning score, I don't even know if you mentioned it out the gate. If I had to guess, Sam, you would know better than me. Maybe 5 under, maybe 6 under, maybe 7, maybe 4. I don't even know. But that's Louis. Let's be real. That's the genre he lives in. But to your point, it's I just feel like it's a trap. Playing DFS for so long, it's
if you want me to make the case for why you can fade Louis, he's a Euro guy, but if you kind of look at it, this is such a small sample. His only good finishes at the British Open have been at St. Andrews for some reason.
Yeah, I'd rather like to your point, I would rather just pay the extra $300 for the same ownership with JT and just probably get the upside. I mean, if JT's sticking him, I mean, he's generally got more upside. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, we don't really know the weather situation yet. Like, who knows? Maybe it's not as windy. Obviously, you want a little bit more upside.
Yeah, I should have said that on the top. I absolutely will make. I would make your lineups as late, not just for people in general, as late as possible on Wednesday. I mean, I'm not even gonna. There could be because people don't know, they all go off the first tee, and so there's tee times like all day. So there could be a drastic change if your guy's teeing off at 6:50 in the morning, and then another guy's teeing off at 2 p.m. That could be a completely. I mean, I think wasn't it 2 years ago? I mean, half the field got destroyed by the weather, and half of them didn't. So just keep that in mind.
As we move downward in this mid 8K range, these guys to me are literally all the same. It's just a matter of, and again, we can talk in Discord. You guys can access Discord. It's at dfskarma.com. Talk to Sam and I before lineup lock. But these guys are generally all going to be owned-ish the same in this like 8K range. I will say, man, I just continue to look at these stats like month over month, year over year. Like Morikawa is just, I know he's not getting much love in the betting market. I was actually surprised to see him as low as he is, which is kind of scary. Maybe it's just his short game, like you said, is around the green game, by the way, isn't as bad as you think. His putter is just so bad at, but man, Morikawa makes
he just
a
hasn't
lot
played. I don't think he's played a British, if I'm not mistaken. So that's I don't know how he'll play.
I'm not knocking guy. I'm not going to be that guy though. Whatever. If they haven't played, these guys are world-class golfers, but I really like Morikawa. Like, I would love to find a way to stick him in my lineup. I'll leave it at that. I like Cantlay a lot. I'm sure a lot of other people do.
I was going to say, I think Cantlay might be my favorite, like, in this entire range.
He's going to be so high.
I need someone to talk me out of Paul Casey. Doesn't he feel like the guy who's all he rates? He's playing unreal, and he is going to go out on Thursday and be like 8 over after 9. And it's like, oh my God.
I did bet him because I was like, if he actually just comes through. I mean, I feel like I've been betting Paul Casey for like 9 straight weeks, and obviously it just doesn't pay off.
I might bet him and then fade in DFS. And I don't mind that.
I'm telling you, like,
Zalatoris, no.
No, Zalatoris. I mean, just no.
No.
Sorry, Fina. I love you, bro, but you're playing really bad right now. I can't.
Webb seems a little bit lost right now. I don't know what he's been.
Something's wrong. Something's wrong with him right now.
I know that you and the public are going to play Scotty Scheffler, and I am not.
I do like me some Scotty, man. He kind of shows up. Like, I don't have the stats in front of me for the majors, but just feel like every major, even though he hasn't been around that long, it's like, oh wow, there's Scotty again. Oh wow, like there he is again. I don't know. I'm not calling him Brooks by any means, but there's something about Scotty that I really like long term. And he didn't win me a shit ton of money, but he is the type of guy that, like, again, we have no clue on ownerships just yet. But if I had to guess, Scotty Scheffler is going to be a lot lower owned. And you would assume, just kind of thinking about his game a little bit, he kind of has the overall all-around game. I mean, if you actually dive into the stats, which I know you can, you especially, Sam, he truly is actually got the all-around game. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe he does.
I think he's been putting a bit. I think he's been putting a bit above his baseline recently. I mean, he got pretty hot at the Scottish Open. I think that'll put his ownership up. But again, like I said at the top, I mean, it's a different course. I mean, yeah, but I just feel like he's around. It's kind of like Morikawa or JT. Like his around the green game is better than you think. So his short game isn't as bad. But he just is not that good of a putter. He's just not. It's like Zalatoris is such a bad putter for some reason. But I don't know. I don't dislike Scotty. It's more like I can't play the chalk. I'm already going to play Rahm, who's chalk. I'm going to play Brooks, my nemesis, is chalk. I'm going to play Spieth. So I just can't. To be honest, the guy I'm going to play.
Fading Brooks, like with my main lineup. Like, why am I doing this to myself? Like, I know better. I know
I'm
to play
playing Brooks. I'm sacrificing myself from playing Brooks so he can finally do bad. Like, I'm doing that for everyone.
We appreciate that in advance because
the guy who I think fits this course so well in this type of game, who has not played well at British Opens, is Cam Smith at 7,800.
You love Cam Smith. I just never play him. I don't know. I mean, maybe you could be right. I don't know.
Oh, by the way, you want something crazy? Speaking of Brooks, I meant to bring this up. I was doing working on something for DFS Karma, like a tool we can use. And Brooks Koepka this year from scrambling 10 yards and in is 48 for 48.
Oh my
How is
God.
that possible?
That is ridiculous.
How is that possible? I don't even know. Like I just wanted to say that's insane.
Hashtag good at golf, man. I mean, that's
You want to lose money with me and play some 7,700 Jason Day?
I actually did think about it. I did not click into his stats. I mean, I know he's making a little turn, right? I mean, a couple of top 15 finishes.
Yeah, dude, 10th, 14th, his last two. That's pretty good.
Betting markets, though, Sam, are not giving him any love. What are your thoughts on that? I know that doesn't mean everything, but what are your thoughts on that? I mean,
no, I agree. I don't know. I mean, I think last time I saw his odds are what, like 70-ish, 60 or something.
Let me bring up Mr. Jason Day. What's his price tag? Oh, 7,700. He's going to be around a couple of
here's my thing. He's coming exactly. He's around a guys could be a little chalk. We know how good he is around the green.
Good in the wind.
He's like a farther hitting Kevin. He's like a farther hitting Kevin Kisner.
This could be interesting. He's hitting a lot of greens in regulation. His good drive percentage going up. His wedges look basically off though, which is kind of scary. But man, talk about a guy that's creative around the greens and stuff, right? I mean, is there anybody? I mean, really, he's got to be top 5 or top 10 in this field.
Yeah, I mean, like literally, I think his I mean, who's better than him at scrambling and saving par? Like Patrick Reed, maybe. Spieth.
The fascinating thing is, why did you skip over? Maybe it's just because we're just kind of rolling through this right now. Obviously, he's going to be highly owned, but let's talk about Matthew Fitzpatrick. I mean, I'm guessing
not playing it.
Why?
Dude, he blew his load last week. He blew his load. He should have won, and he lost to Min Woo Lee. And then he had to watch his team lose the Euro. That's a tough scene.
Man, I wish I had the data on that tournament because it's not like he's playing that great. The Palmetto.
It's out there. I have it. I'll post it in our Discord. So everyone should join our Discord. I'll post
it. So you think that's a favorable fade? I mean, he's getting a ton of love in the market relative to his price point at DraftKings, which is, to me, he looks like one of the most mispriced guys in the field right now. Now, that doesn't mean everything. I mean, it really does not. But on Monday,
he's mispriced. He's mispriced, sure. And again, like I've said to other guys, this fits his game. I mean, I don't know. It's his British Open history is not like as great as you think it is.
What about Shane Lowry? People are going to play him. It's like you can't play. That's a problem. You just can't play all these guys. I mean,
I'm probably not playing Lowry. The guy who I'm more interested in, a little below them, who I'd never play, is Mark Leishman.
I was taking a look at him. Why are you on him? I mean, he has not really spiked recently, but
no, but he's been okay. It's mixed, but he does have a 6th, 5th, and 2nd at British Opens. He obviously is used to the wind and is a good like bad weather player. I don't know, his form is like not horrendous. And you think about it, I think he won the Zurich or something, which who cares? But then he's only missed one cut, I think, in his last 6 with like a 3rd, 21st. I don't know. I mean, I'm just like, I guess, I don't know. I prefer him.
Combo is really lethal, actually. Talking about low owned leverage, you can play a bunch of chalky Spieths and whoever else around that. Like things like that is how you win tournaments on DraftKings.
Yeah. I don't know. I like a couple of these guys. I think I'm naming too many. I mean, we can go to the most mispriced player in the entire slate if you want.
No, we'll get to him in a second. I mean, because I do think the low 7K range is going to be what wins it. So there's a lot of guys. Like, again, this is world-class freaking British Open. I mean, some of these guys, it's like, you know, I don't even want to play Sergio, but, like, my God, like, you see names, like, down here. I mean, Sergio actually has a
Dude, he has – I was going to say, I'm a broken record with Sergio. I mean, yeah, it hasn't been great recently, but in his history, he has he has 4 top 10s in, like, 8 British Opens or 9 or something.
That's pretty good.
I don't know. It's just his putter is so bad. I know the guy no one's going to play. This kid, that South African kid, Christian Bazinho, that long-ass name you can't pronounce. This dude is like the perfect fit for this course. He's like played well in the majors this year, and he hits the ball like nowhere, but all he does well is like around the green and makes every putt. That's like all you literally need to do.
I don't know if I want to play that guy, but yeah, he kind of was.
No,
I
dude,
kind of.
I mean, if you want so Berger is the most mispriced. His price is literally stupid. That's a cash game lock. Don't fade him. But no one will play anyone because everyone's just going to play Berger.
Well, again, the thing is, there's only so many guys, and it's like you got to make like, man, I felt the same way about Berger too, and I don't want to fade everybody just because they're owned, but Berger might not get egregious. He might because there's just people are going to be playing the Matthew Fitzpatricks and the Lowrys and the Paul Caseys up there, and I just don't think there's enough salary to go around. I do think this like low.
Daniel Berger last week was like 11,400.
How about Ricky Fowler, 7,300? I don't think anyone's going to play him this week.
I'm playing Ricky.
I think it's a really interesting play. I mean, I don't have the history, but I do feel like
he's a good links player.
I mean, he did miss the Cutter Travelers when he was chalk, so he's burned a lot of people. That's why I like the setup. I like the fact that DFS players got punched in the
British Open, 9 starts, only 1 missed cut, and that was like 8 years ago. He is 6th, 22nd, 2nd, 5th. I think he's an awesome play. I think right next to him, a play that no one was going to be on. I like Harris English a lot.
He's going to be very popular. I mean, he just won.
Yeah, but like people forget that like since it's like Harris English, people don't really care.
I think Harris English is going to be a lot more popular than you think. I think Daniel Berger is going to be 33% less owned than Mr. Harris English, if I had to guess.
No, dude, Berger is such a big name. He's won twice, like since the COVID restart.
I know people don't like Berger for some reason. I think it's just because
I know.
But
no, it's because I don't like his swing.
Berger's the one guy. It's him and Spieth, making this lineup. It's like those two in specific. I don't care what their ownerships are. I just feel like I love them both for this course because Berger is such a freaking grinder, and so is Spieth. But I don't think Berger is going to be as popular as we think. So what about, man, let's just talk about a couple of darts, right? Like Molinari. I mean,
you're going to say his name.
Just say it. Like,
Brandon Grace is going to be the guy that everyone says is sneaky. He's going to be like 12% owned.
I am not touching Brandon Grace with a 10-foot pole. I mean,
I kind of like him. I don't know.
No, but he's actually going to be owned. People will talk about him. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I want to look at some of these other guys. How about a guy that has absolute shitty odds? It's 7,200. Russell Henley. I really like Russell Henley.
Dude, I love you said that. I love Russell Henley.
Dude, I don't think people are going to play him. I mean,
no, they won't. I agree.
He fits the mold. He's kind of got the all-around game. I mean, I love that he's hitting just so many greens in regulation. He's hitting all the fairways. I mean, there's not much more you can ask for him other than like Vegas hates him and therefore people aren't going to play him. You know this, Sam. How about another guy down here? Man, I don't think he's going to be owned, but all these guys are going to be owned. Whatever, 5%, 7%. Here's a guy I really want to know. You just tell me if I'm overthinking this, but this guy's not going to be as high owned as you think, because I know you're going to try to tell me he is. Ian Poulter. He's not going to be as high owned as you think. Talk to me. I really like Ian Poulter this week a lot.
Yeah, I like him. I think if he had somehow ended up winning, like obviously last week, or like finished like in that top 3, he would have been pretty popular. I think because he like didn't win. I agree. Yeah, I mean, if you want the narrative, I mean, what isn't he like early 40s? I mean, Darren Clark won his early 40s. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. I think if I were to see that Poulter was getting popular, I would fade, but I don't think he's going to be that popular either. So I do like him as well.
Who else are you looking at here? I mean, some low-owned names. I mean, seriously, like 5% type guys, like a Russell Henley-ish of the world.
I don't know. I don't think people play Alex Noren, and I never do. And I didn't play him last week. But now this is the course that he actually should do well at, and he's actually been playing pretty well. I know you're going to try to sell me on Jason Kokrak, but he cannot hit out of a bunker.
I'm not playing Kokrak. I mean, people will play him. His stats, he's going to pop in the stat models, but I don't know.
No, he's putting great. But like, if he gets in a bunker, he might make 9.
Yeah, I don't want. Again, I just don't want anything to do. The more I look at my lineup, just talking on this podcast, I think I honestly want to go Rory in Spieth, and then get some of these low 7K guys that we're kind of talking about, and just kind of roll with it, man. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just the intuition, but I really like Rory this week.
I have a guy at $6,800.
I could probably guess him.
I hope you can. He might win.
Stop playing fucking Keegan Bradley, and then I know you love
Bradley. Keegan Bradley might win. He might win this tournament, honestly.
He might. He actually sets it really well here, but you know what? I was like, you know me, for every major, for people that don't know this, like generally for majors every year, it's only 4 tournaments. I will probably take a shot if I debate going into like the $4,000 tournament. And I'm like, you know what? If I go into this with Keegan Bradley and this dude is just 3-putting, I will be mad at myself. I don't even want to live with Keegan Bradley and tilting his putts because he's going to hit every green. So I can't do it, but I think he's a good
I don't know. I always play Streelman, but I think a guy who's interesting. His stats in any model look horrible, but I think is it Matthias or I think it's Matthias Schwab. He's this Euro kid. He has no stats, but I pulled the guys who have, and I pulled their Euro stats. I mean, on the Euro Tour, Schwab is top 10 tee to green, top 10 approach, 5th in greens and reg. He could. I mean, I was gonna say it's the top. Now that we're here, I mean, every year with the British Open, there are these random smattering of guys who are so low. When I'm going to do a 20 max, I'm going to have a way bigger player pool, and I absolutely have a tighter quote-unquote core. But the guys that would mix in several of these 6K guys in like 5 to 10% across your lineups because these guys can just randomly pop and have that lucky for like Richard Bland. Remember that hero from the U.S. Open? That dude's playing unreal. I'm totally playing Richard Bland, like completely.
You remember when I was texting you? I was like, "Who the hell is Richard Bland?" I'm like, I've never heard of him. But yeah, I mean, let's see it. Wow, Kevin Streelman is going to be probably a lot lower owned than I even thought. I mean, I did mention Keegan. Charlie Hoffman's down here. We know he's had an incredible year. People aren't going to play Charlie. I mean, who else is down here? Man, Emiliano Grillo it's another guy. I just can't do it.
You have the balls to play the guy who is, how expensive is he? He is 7,000 even, and he ranks number 1 in my course fit.
Do I have to guess him? Is he going to be a random guy? Oh, is it my boy EPR?
No, dude, that dude is lost. He is lost.
Are you going back?
No, that'd be Henrik Stenson. I don't know if I can play Stenson, dude. I don't know. He
actually probably will be a nice top 25 guy. Like if you're looking, I feel like Stenson almost guaranteed to make the cut. But the problem is, if these guys start scoring, like Stenson's dead.
I agree.
All right, talk about Sam Burns and any of these other guys down here.
I have one chance a year to play one of my favorite guys, and I will not pass that up. That's Ryan Fox.
I'm not playing him. I've been burned by him in the past. Just a definite
dude. That dude hammers the ball. He hits it like barely less than Bryson. Marcus Armitage is really good, like really good.
Do you think the DFS community is gonna fade Lucas Glover because he's tired and he won last week? That'd be an interesting. Yes. I think he sets up actually really well. It's funny, before he won, and I started not paying attention because fuck Josh Teeter, by the way, who I see is in this tournament. I couldn't
believe he played him in a main lineup. That was so dumb.
Well, I was so strongly convinced with my 5 core. I tell you, I do this sometimes. Like, I get a core of 5 guys that I fucking love. And if you just see the return rate of 6 of 6s historically, especially this calendar year, dude, I mean, look again. I mean, it's like less than 10%, less than 5% generally week to week. You just kind of got to get a little bit lucky with the 5th guy or the 6th guy. And I really did like Teeter. He actually was popping in our Karma Valley. He was like number 12 or 13 in the Karma Valley. And I was like, why not? I took a shot on him. He actually had a really good Friday. He did not obviously make the cut. But, dude, if he made the cut, I would have taken down tournaments. I would have won a qualifier. I mean, I was right there with a 5 out of 6. But, yeah, he's got a better wedge game and iron game than we think. So, yeah, fuck him, though. I see him in this tournament. Can't even believe he got invited.
Dean Burmeister, 6,100. Lock it in.
All right. So if anyone hasn't listened thus far, we're getting to the end of the pod. Sam Burns, he's going to be 15 to 25% owned, 6,300, right? I mean,
here's my problem. Here's my problem with Sam Burns. I get he's 6,300. I'll probably end up playing him, and I get it. His price makes no sense. But he's like not someone, honestly, I want to do the whole like play in cash automatically thing. His range of outcomes is wild. He literally like after the first 9, if he was 4 under, if he was 14 over, I would not be shocked either way. Like, he just is so random. I
Listen,
think someone mentioned it in our Discord. He's like not done well in the majors, I feel like.
Sam Burns, I like it bomber courses with a bunch of par fives that are scoreable, yada yada. And you know what? If Sam Burns fucking burns me this week, then whatever. I mean, that's kind of the route I'm going. There are. I mean, the more I look, like my boy Ches, who almost actually won me a ton of money this week. I mean, I did. I think like 4x my money. I'm happy with it. But Ches Reeves here at 6,700. If you look into Ches Reeves' stats, I mean, he's gonna be 3% owned. Ches Reeves like kind of fits the mold.
I'm not playing Ches.
Why do you hate on Ches, dude? He's an automatic cash machine. I mean, he's actually playing really well. He almost won, by the way. But anyways, I digress. That's kind of almost the end of the pod here. Let me go over our newest partner.
Yeah, Reeves
done this earlier.
Reeves got an electric course history. 3 missed cuts, no made cuts. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Jock.
Go ahead.
Market.online, our newest partner. So happy to have them. They are really going to be one of the next wave of like noisemakers, let's just say that, in the industry. There's no doubt about it. I mean, we all see what's going on in the stock market, the meme market, whatever you want to call it. It's pretty funny, but the reality is, I mean, we are in a dawn of a new era, and I really love the model of Jock Market when it mixes the sports market and the IPO kind of stock market. So our promo code is Karma. Again, jockmarket.online. Sam, were you able to check out anything? I know they have a few of these tournaments going. Basically, how it works is Wednesday evening or Wednesday during the day, the market opens for a couple of these tournaments for the, obviously the British Open in specific, and you can bid up some of these players, right? And it's just a matter of just like stocks, right?
Yeah, I mean, basically for anyone like I work in like the finance world, so it's cool. I mean, you're basically trying to capture someone that's undervalued that could shoot up, or vice versa. It's like live, like the market is, and I think to your point, there's a lot of it's one of those few sites I think where the edge is not completely lost, because like in some of these things you have ownership and everyone is doing the same thing, but in this you're kind of deriving your own value, and I think it's a really interesting way to kind of, if you're playing DraftKings, if you're betting, whatever, it's kind of a way to kind of get in on some other guys without having to place a bet on someone who is just so popular in the betting markets and it's already been hammered down or things like that. So I think it's gonna be really fun. Always talking about it with everyone in Discord.
Take a second, seriously, check it out. I promise you guys, everybody loves stocks nowadays and crypto and all that. JockMKT.online. JockMKT.online. Promo code Karma will get you that matching deposit bonus. But we'll start talking about that a little bit more. It is a newer model, and we're really excited to have them. Anything else, Sam? Anything else? Who's your bet of the week?
Who's your winner? I was going to ask who yours is.
Well, obviously, because I am a god and I got Jordan Spieth at 22-1 and no one else did it in the industry, he's going to win. That's my top play. Jordan Spieth is the top play on the board. DFS, betting, like you said, on DraftKings, he's down to 14-1. I love hearing that. That is music to my ears. Again, it's kind of like JockMKT.online, right? Like the markets move. I mean, that's why I love the betting markets, and DFS. I mean, the prices are kind of what they are, but you got to get ahead of things, right? So I'll go to you first. Who's your kind of value bet of the week? And then I'll give you my value bet. And then the rest of my plays are in the article at betkarma.com that should be launching tonight. It should be coming out tonight. I talked to Steven. The article is coming out tonight.
During the pod, basically talking through it, I think I've talked myself into, I think Patrick Cantlay is going to win. And my value,
I bet him though, for the record.
Wow. I don't know, a value one, kind of looking at it, I guess to go ultimate. I'm not picking Jason Day. He's not winning this tournament. I'll go. Oh, dude, I'm going Ricky Fowler, 80-1. This is the comeback. It's completed at the Open Championship.
That would be unbelievable. I'll actually put a bet in right now. I'll tell you because it's a very, very, very fun odds. So I don't have to put much on it. Where is he at my book? Hold on. I'm checking, scrolling. I'm definitely tailing you on this. Man, is he at 90 to 1 on my book? No, he must be up. Can't I find it? Sorry. Okay. I will give one of my picks that's in the Bet Karma article. I already told you Spieth. You mentioned Henley. I actually already have Henley. Again, just like jockmkt.online. I did beat the market there, at least on my sports book. I mean, he was 40 to 1. He's already up to 35. I love seeing that. That means I have a better price. Dude, are you kidding me? Ricky's 80 to 1 on your book? What book?
DK Sportsbook.
He's 45 to 1 on my book.
Yeah, dude, your book is like, you have like the worst. Sometimes your book, it's like, it'll be like, oh, you know, Brooks Koepka 150 to 1. And then it'll be like, Jason Kokrak 8 to 1. Your book is wild.
No, my book's like one of the more widely
sketchy as hell, really. Yeah.
All right. My bet is, sorry, I'm trying not to give away all my article. Okay. I absolutely love Morikawa. I'm sticking with it. He's at 33 to 1. I feel like this is a very fair, safe, nice value. That line has not moved. It's still 33 to 1. I don't know what you're seeing on your book, but dude, Morikawa, if you just look into the stats, I joke with my friends locally, like I firmly believe Morikawa long term will be one of the best players we ever see to come across the PGA Tour. I think once he continues to figure out his putter, the stats don't lie. I mean, there's really no better ball striker. There's no better iron player it really in the entire world than Morikawa. So, I mean, that's my pick.
I like it. Kind of.
That's it, everybody. Thanks for joining us on this major edition. I don't know what else we got coming down the pipeline for golf. I mean, we got the FedEx Cup. I mean, do we? Next couple of weeks, we'll probably have a couple more pods. It's been an awesome year again. I mean, we've had a lot of big wins, man. Like, I'm trying to go out with a bang this week, as you are. And then NFL.
Yeah, we're all winning. We're all winning this week. All of us. Literally every single person.
Thank you all for listening, and keep checking out both betkarma.com and dfskarma.com because there's a lot coming for NFL, which is literally almost 6 weeks out now. So thanks, guys. Good luck this week.